welcome every one of us to the 136th Inaugural Lecture. As we all know, Inaugural Lecture is a forum where a professor shares his wealth of experience, his area of research in his field of specialization. And so please, before we go into the crux of today's matter, permit me to recognize members of the high table. First, we recognize the Vice Chancellor of this institution, our Golden Vice Chancellor, Professor Florence Obi. Can we put our hands together? And may I recognize here present the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, Professor Tony Inyame. Can we put our hands together for him? Seated very close to him, you have the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, Professor Inaugural. Also to be recognized is the University Librarian, Professor Anibit Mutui. Can we put our hands together for her? Coming up to high table, we have the Registrar of the institution, Dr. Mrs. Tukuka Icha. And seated at my extreme right, you have the Chairman Committee of Deans, Professor Ikaite Inan. May I recognize, seated down there, the citation reader, the person that is going to unravel the shadow behind the 136th Inaugural Lecturer. And it's no other person than a professor from the Department of Philosophy, University of Calabar, Professor Fred Bassey. Can we put our hands together for him? And may I recognize, seated very close to me, a professor of hospitality, travel and tourism marketing and management, Department of Hospitality and Tourism Management, who is also the 136th Inaugural Lecturer. He is no other person than Professor Bassey B. He will be properly introduced in the course of this lecture. May I recognize former Vice Chancellors here present, Deans of Faculties, Directors of Institute, Heads of Departments and Units, Chairman Ceremonial Committee, past inaugural lecturers, invited guests, members of the university community, Malabites and Malabreses. Are we here? Malabites and Malabreses? Thank you so much. And may I recognize members of the immediate family of the inaugural lecturer. First, we recognized it's his dear wife, his better half, his sugar in his tea when he takes his tea. And I'm sure she was, using the towel to put in warm water to massage his back in the preparation of the lecture. And permit me to recognize a very beautiful lady in our midst, Dr. Mrs. Fidelia Bassey B. I'll stand up so that they can see you very well. Can we put our hands together for her? You're welcome, ma'am. The children are also here. Miss Every Bassey, so as I call your name, stand and wave to everyone in the crowd. That's Every, you're welcome. Mr. Louis Bassey, so you're welcome. His siblings are also here. Mr. Godwin Benjamin Isu, Mr. and Mrs. Edwin Ofoke, Mrs. Francisca Basewa, and Mrs. Gladys Benjamin Ofa. Please, you're all recognized. His in-laws are here, Dr. Barisa and Dr. Mrs. Fidelis Akman. Please, you're all recognized. His former classmates are also here, Professor N. Awara, Dr. J. Obidi. Please, you're recognized. Clergies, Reverend Barisa Pizipam and Dr. Mrs. Juliet Ikban. CGM, Reverend and Reverend Mrs. Harrison Dorubo, Reverend Justice Inonda Itape. They are all here. Reverend Dr. Henrietta Henshaw, Reverend O. Udin, Reverend Usibe, Reverend Mrs. Ifon, Reverend Aribo, there are plenty. We also have tourism sector members, a whole lot of them. Can we put our hands together for all of them? And please may I welcome the second time to the 136th inaugural lecture, which has as its topic, Hospitality-Centric Philosophy, the spirit and soul of destination product, and the piggyback of development. I repeat, Hospitality-Centric Philosophy, the spirit and soul of destination product, and the piggyback of development. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to hand over the microphone to the registrar of the institution to please carry on the further proceedings of the 136th inaugural lecture. Registrar.
Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to call on the Vice Chancellor and Chairman of this occasion, our very own Professor Florence Banku-Obi, to give her opening remarks.
Deputy Vice Chancellors, the University Librarian, Chairman Committee of Deans, Provosts, Deans Directors, Professors, HODs, our dear guests, our dear students, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to, on behalf of the management of the University of Calabar, welcome you to the 136th inaugural lecture, today by no other person than Professor Bassey B. I want to say, please just sit down, relax, and allow him to take us through the topic, Hospitality-Centric Philosophy. Talking about the spirit and soul of destination product. Maybe we're talking about the spirit and soul of our carnival. Maybe we're talking about the spirit and soul of Cross River, which is tourism destination. And then he'll be telling us about the piggyback of development. However, we know we are ready here to be entertained by him. The time is fast spent. We are almost 40 minutes into his time. And so we are not going to make long speeches. Permit me once more to welcome each and every one of you and to appreciate their colleagues who have come out to grace this occasion. It is an academic ceremony and it's incumbent on us to always come in here. We should never be weary, we should never be tired. If we talk about tiredness, perhaps I should be sleeping in the house now. But we have to be here to support one of our own. Professor Esu, congratulations even before you deliver the lecture. Thank you.
The Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I will now invite Professor Freddy of Young Bassey to read the citation of the 136th inaugural lecturer, Professor Bassey B. Esu.
The Vice Chancellor, all other protocols duly observed. My name is Dr. Frederick of Young Bassey, but by prophecy, I've been given the prophecy. Thank you very much, Ma. It is an honor to stand here to read the citation of a father and a mentor. I'd like to quickly recall from my undergraduate days. During the last days of studies, I remember we were over 200 and something students in my set. And then during the graduation period, we had only 9 students graduate from that set. Few other students had some carryovers and exams they needed to write. Because of my relationship with him and how much he knew me, when I entered his office, he asked me, "What do you come for?" I said, "I come to do my final clearance that I have actually graduated." So he opened the results and checked, and truly, all the results were cleared, and my school fees was paid from first year to final year. And other students that were in that office, he said to them, "Do not follow anybody." Apparently, from his relationship with me, he did not expect that I was going to graduate at the time that I graduated. When I came back to the university to lecture, it was a surprise to him and he was very happy. He has been my mentor from that day till this day, and it is my honor. I'm going to read a citation of Professor Bassey B. Professor Bassey was born in Calabar on 12 February 1964 to the family of late Asondo Benjamin Oyomisu of Abe Oyum royal family in the Nihon community in the Diba East clan, and late Akado Ade Benjamin Su of Abe Ubi Ubebo family, also in the Nihon community in the Diba clan in Abi local government of Cross River State. He had his primary education at Government Primary School, Calabar Estate, Akampa local government, and secondary education at Community Secondary School, Mpani, and Community Secondary Grammar School, Uget respectively. The young Yesu's desire was to study medicine and surgery. However, his desire to read medicine had another turn as he eventually found himself as a student nurse at the Central School of Nursing, where he studied, sat, and passed the Nursing Examination Council in 1987. On graduation, he was posted to Cottage Hospital Oban, Akampa local government. His stay in Oban was brief because of his drive for quality service delivery. He applied for in-service training to study ophthalmic nursing and management at the University of Nigeria Teaching Hospital, Enugu, in 1989. In 1999, he completed the program and was posted to the eye clinic, Sacred Heart Hospital, Obudu. His stay in Obudu was also brief. He was later transferred to the Oncosocysis Control Unit in the State Ministry of Calabar. He worked in that unit as an eye nurse, public health nurse, training and mobilization officer, finance officer, and field research officer. He led the research for the rapid assessment, a task which is specially assigned to him by Professor Calabar. It was the result of his research that was used by the WHO to determine the endemicity level of Cross River State and subsequent approval of chemotherapeutic treatment for endemic communities. He was the envoy to the World Health Organization who collected the first consignment of metazine tablets to the state. His desire to further higher education led the young Isu to apply to read marketing in the University of Calabar in 1982. He graduated with a second-class upper grade in marketing in 1997, a grade that qualified him to immediately proceed to do the MBA program in the University of Calabar. It was during the MBA program that Professor Isu got employed as a graduate assistant to the University of Calabar. His love for knowledge pushed him to give a shot at the PhD program in 2002. To align with his human service orientation, he opted to do his PhD research in tourism, a decision that brought a turnaround to his career journey. On completion of his PhD program in 2006, he became a regular guest on Cross River Broadcasting Corporation on tourism matters, courtesy of Mrs. Ofiomani, now a permanent secretary. In 2007, University of Cross River State engaged him to support the development of a proposal for the establishment of a Department of Hospitality and Tourism Management. He was the first lecturer employed in the Department of Hospitality and Tourism Management by the Vice Chancellor, Professor Calabar. In the same year, he was engaged as lead consultant for the training of teachers on tourism in Cross River State. Also between 2009 to 2012, Professor Isu was engaged by the Cross River State Water Board on communication research as a communication research consultant assigned with the task of studying the organization consumer's perspective, develop the organization's communication strategy, and to undertake communication strategy impact analysis. In 2010 to 2012, he worked as the head of research and planning of the Cross River State Tourism Bureau. Between 2015 to 2023, he served as chairman, Cross River State Tourism Development Board, and chairman, Cross River State Tourism Bureau, respectively. Professor Su is a member of several professional institutes, among which are Fellow, National Institute of Marketing, Fellow, Institute of Tourism Professionals, Fellow, National Institute of Chartered Administrators. He is currently the chairman, Cross River State Chapter of Institute for Tourism Professionals of Nigeria, and the vice president, South-South of the Institute. He is also the vice chairman of Praise Tourism Promotion and Development Initiative. Professor Su co-founded the Sustainable Tourism Initiative, a non-governmental organization focused on research and policy support in Nigeria. He is the founder and chairman of Divine Marketing Consult and Insight Tourism Agency. Professor Su has published extensively in areas of hospitality, travel, and tourism management and marketing in both local and foreign journals. With well over 901 citations in Google Scholar and Scopus, he has 16-page index to his credit. He has published 2 textbooks, namely Introduction to Tourism and Hospitality Management and Introduction to Marketing, respectively. He also co-authored 2 textbooks, Essential Business Communication and Quantitative Technique for Management Sciences, Social Sciences, and Cultural Sciences. He has supervised 10 PhD students, which I am one of them, in tourism and hospitality marketing. He is an external examiner to a number of universities in Nigeria, namely Akwa Ibom State University, University of Uyo, and University of Cross River State. He has done 5 professional assessments, 3 for marketing and 2 for hospitality and tourism management. Professor Su is widely traveled. He has traveled to 4 continents of the world for conferences and tourism study and tours, which you will see in the pictures. The Vice Chancellor and chairman of this inaugural lecture, ladies and gentlemen, join me as I present the 136th inaugural lecture, an academic by excellence, a hospitality service innovation expert, a public sector tourism manager, a hospitality, travel and tourism entrepreneur, the first professor of hospitality, travel and tourism marketing and management in the University of Calabar, the first professor of hospitality, travel and tourism marketing and management in Cross River State, and the first professor of hospitality, travel and tourism marketing and management in Nigeria, Professor Bassey B.
Please permit me to stand on the established protocol. Today is a great day in my life, especially being the one to conclude the series of activities that marked the 50th anniversary of University of Calabar. It's not a mistake, it's divine. Let me welcome every one of us warmly and specially to this inaugural lecture. For me, it's more of a celebration for those of us who are in tourism. But before I go on, please just help me welcome somebody by your left-hand side and your right-hand side. Tell the person, you are welcome. I love you. Yes, it's necessary. If you wouldn't mind, you can go a step to introduce yourself, because that's the atmosphere that's going to prevail right away. Our topic, Hospitality-Centric Philosophy, the spirit and soul of destination product and the piggyback of development. It's an outcome of series of studies that I've carried out. It culminated in 2023 as the chairman of the Cross River State Institute of Tourism Professional, when I was faced with the task of designing a team for our usual Cross River State Tourism Roundtable. a lot of things came into my mind on why destination fail and why destination grow. And in the light of most of the things I've done, hospitality came strong into my mind, theoretically and practically. And that informed the use of the team, Light Up Hospitality in Cross River State. Light Up Cross River State with the spirit of hospitality. That was our 2023 team for the Institute of Tourism Professionals of Nigeria. Madam Vice Chancellor, you were in attendance represented by the DVC administration. It was a well-attended forum. The essence was to restore the lost glory of our destination. You know, Cross River State is usually associated with hospitality, and that is our competitive strength. But years after, it appears the tourism ladder was diminishing, and I started researching into the relevance of hospitality in destination development. When we took hospitality seriously, we tend to have faster destination development, and when hospitality diminished, there was a turn down, and so it became a thing of concern to me. 3 years after that round table, not much has been done, and so this lecture, Madam Chancellor, is another step, a further step in my campaign to promote and create awareness in the industry on hospitality and destination development. But we cannot achieve much at this point if we do not, as industry members, understand the what, the how, and the why of hospitality-centric philosophy and destination development. It is on the basis of this that this lecture has been designed. My task here is not to unravel mysteries, because hospitality is not characterized by mystery, but by form and excitement. So my task here is to provide answers to the what and the how and the why of the relationship between hospitality-centric philosophy and the socio-economic development of destination. Because I believe if the industry members, which we are seated here, understand what these terms are and how they are used at the managerial milieu, we'll be able to attain the much work needed development in our destination. So my task will begin by exploring or throwing more light first on what we call destination. The ecosystem where the interplay takes place is the tourist destination to the visitor. But to us, the host community, we call it tourism destination. So what is a tourism destination? Or what destination? A destination is simply a place that has the ability to attract visitors. So, as we are here, you agree with me that today, Unical is a destination, because by reason of what we are doing, we have been able to attract people from far and near to this place. But I will take us further to present the characteristics of a destination. The critical element of a destination is simply the individuals. We call them tourists. And who is a tourist? A tourist is one who leaves his usual place of residence to another place of interest for leisure, for business, for holiday, and for non-remunerated purposes for a short period of time, which technically we say not more than 12 months and not less than a night. That's the technical definition of a tourist. So a destination without a tourist is not a destination. So we can say, okay, Are we all tourists here? No. Some of us, we are all visitors, but not all tourists. The ones I will call tourists here are those ones who have spent a night. For example, the registrar of the Institute for Tourism Professionals is here in our midst, and he has spent a night, so we can call him a tourist. He's a visitor to this product that we are witnessing. But destinations also operate by the type of tourists who visit. If a tourist operates or visit a place within the geographical area, we call the tourist a domestic tourist. And we can call that destination a domestic destination. Why? Because it's only visited by visitors from within the geographical area. So if you are coming from Calabar, I can call you a local tourist. If you are coming from another state, I can call you a domestic tourist. But if you are coming outside Nigeria, I will call you an international tourist. But however, the destination is what we call a receptacle. He receives people, visitors, and tourists together. And technically, we call a destination a receiving region. But it cannot survive without tourists. Where do the tourists come from? They come from what we call a generating area. A generating area is the place where the tourists reside. So tourists do not come from their area of residence. They come from another region. And that region is characterized by attraction deficits. The region lacks something. And that pushes the tourist or the prospective person to begin to desire to visit a destination. What is the characteristic of a destination? A destination is rich in attraction, rich in facilities, rich in infrastructure. It's beautiful. It has a pulling effect to draw people from attraction deficit area, which we call tourist generating area. But how do they get across? How do they move from the generating area into the receiving area? We call it a route. The route is made up of transporters, carriers, suppliers of intermediary services. We call them tour operators. We call them travel agents. We call tour operators and travel agents. Tour operators and travel agents. So that's what I'm talking about. On my right, far right, is the receiving area, the destination. At my far left is the generating area that supplies the receiving area, the destination with visitors. In the middle is the tourist route, where you have the various modes of transportation, airlines, shipping lines, land transport, ferries, and so on. So you can see the system of a tourism system and how it interconnects with each other. But I will concentrate a little more on the destination. A destination is made of industries that produce the tourism products. But you see, the way the tourism products are, they are amorphous and difficult to define because they are used by even the residents. And so, for a product to be called a tourist product or an industry product, the production of that unit of product must be heavily dependent on tourist consumption. What do I mean? It means in the absence of tourists visiting the destination, the production of that product diminishes to a significant level. Let us visit. What is it in Cross River State that without visitors cannot survive? If you ask me, I will say Unical. Yes, because our is the highest tourist product that we offer. The number of people visiting Cross River to take up activities here is quite high. It's quite high. Let me mention another one. Do we say accommodation is a tourism product? But we can continue building even without what? Visitors. So we cannot say the residential houses are tourism product. But the tourist accommodation are what? Tourism product. Because you cannot build a hotel and it makes economic sense when there are no visitors. So a tourist accommodation is what? A tourism product. A tourism industry is made up of components. If you go to literature, there are several components presented by experts, but ESUD 2024 came out with a broader model of what constitutes tourism industry components. And there are, you can see that, you have attractions sector. You have the food and beverage sector. To say attraction, there are different types of attractions. We have nature-based attraction. We have cultural attraction. We have recreational attraction. We have archaeological attraction. There are different types of attraction. We have educational attraction. Like I mentioned, Unical can be packaged as a tourist product. An old industry can be packaged as a tourist product. An old church, when I went to Jamaica in Kingston, a very old church was presented. Here in Calabar, we have tried to present the Juketown area as some of our, at the Juketown church at Okoyo, as some of our attractions. So attractions come in different types. Food and beverage, we have the fast food, we have the bookers, we have the mama put, we have the restaurants, we have the fine dining in hotels. They constitute what we call F&B. We have the tourist transportation. They come in different routes. We have the air transport by planes. We have the land transport by buses and coaches. We have the sea by ferries, ship, boats, and cruise. We have the travel organizations. Travel organizations are intermediaries, and they are represented by the tour operators and travel agencies and tour guides. We have the destination organizations. The destination organizations are institutions established by law to regulate the destination. At the national level, we have what we call the NTOs, the National Tourism Organizations. And in Nigeria, we used to have what we call NTDC. Today it's called NTDA, the Nigerian Tourism Development Authority. And at the state level, we have the State Tourism Organization. We are not in Cross River State, we call our own the State Tourism Bureau. At the local government, we have what is supposed to be called, it's not functioning. I remember in 2011, I tried to establish the local government tourism committee. And unfortunately, when I left the tourism bureau, up till now, that effort just ended there. And the local government areas do not know that even the law recognizes them as the custodian of the tourism industry. It's not Calabar. It's the local government that is not the state. The industry assets are domiciled in communities and at the local government. I just hope the local government chairmen are here to know that it's their place to do that, and they play a significant role. We have the education and consulting sector. You see, we have never taken that seriously. It's a sector because the education sector produce the manpower. Without a strong tourism industry manpower, there's no way we can deliver on the kind of service quality that is required. And I just hope we'll be able to meet that expectation from our Department of Tourism and Hospitality, that the manpower we're producing will be most sought for, because we are going to impact on the quality of delivery. But for now, I must say, our service level is still weak in Nigeria. Why? Because we have deficit or debt of qualified, skilled manpower. I will come back to that when we go into our growth further. And then the other one is the marketing sector. Marketing is the bridge between the industry and the market. Without a strong tourism marketing structure, nobody knows you. And I want to say, why we are not doing well, even as a state, is because we are unable to market our state tourism infrastructure. So all this work together seamlessly to produce a vibrant and effective tourism destination. Effective tourism destination. I will leave that there. But this, we're just trying to throw light, a little more light on what is a tourist destination. So let me do another part, which is what is hospitality? Well, before I go into the definition, but let me just say, hospitality means different things to different people. It is culture bound. Over the years, right from the days of antiquity, and hospitality has been treated with men, and different cultures have reported. But I don't want to waste our time than to say, today understanding, as recorded in EDU 2024, hospitality is ubiquitous, is eclectic, is found in every human endeavor, which means everything we do in life, hospitality must be integrated. So what is it about? Descriptively, I say hospitality is that thing that's smoothing the relationship between a host and a guest. So if you are always having suffocks, you are always having problems with visitors or with friends, with your husband, your colleagues, your bosses, your administrators, it means you have a very poor hospitality life. Because if you are rich in hospitality, hospitality smoothing the relationship between what? The host and the guest. And so what is it? Well, there are different definitions based on different philosophies. I will just define it technically as a social phenomenon, as a process that an individual intentionally creates to establish interpersonal relationship with the other person for the purpose of making the other person feel welcome, respected, loved, and feel like a human being. If you don't have that spirit, then you are not hospitable. What do I mean? You are not. So, hospitality has two sides, a credit and debit component. Credit and debit. When you show kindness, love, you give out yourself to the other person, you are debiting your own account. You are giving out what you have. You are giving out. What do you give out? You give out love. You are generous. You are kind. You are not saucy. You are not selfish. You are not self-centered. You do not look forward to the disadvantage, the suffering. You can't stand the suffering of the other person. You can't withstand that. You are giving out yourself. You prefer others to yourself. That kind of hospitality account is called debit account because it's taken out from you to the other person. Then you who is receiving, your account is called credit because you are receiving. If I ask you, how do you feel? I feel fine. How do you feel? I feel loved. How do I feel? I feel respected. Your account has been credited. Are you only enjoying a credit account hospitality or a debit account hospitality? The Bible says it is more pleasant to give than to receive. I subscribe to the Christian philosophy, Christian hospitality philosophy of the Bible, of the epistles, in Romans chapter 12, verse 13. He said we should share with those in the Lord's house, and we should practice hospitality. There are other ones. Are you practicing hospitality? So I'll just discuss how you can recognize what? Hospitality. It can be recognized by hospitable behavior of the giver, and you, the receiver, you can tell whether the hospitality is significant or not. We call that hospitableness. Then, where do we come in when we talk about hospitality-centric philosophy? For me, I simply define that as the application of hospitableness to every situation of service delivery, or to every human contact you have. Which means, in your class, as a lecturer, you should debit what or credit people's account, their students' account. Do you love their students? Do you respect their students? Okay. As a resident, do you respect your neighbors? Do you plan good for them? As a traveler or as a resident, how do you receive visitors when you come across them? At the park, in public places? Wow. I leave that to you. But it's something that we must always do. So simply, hospitality-centric philosophy is the application of the spirit of hospitableness to every human endeavor, every human contact you have. So, if you apply that to a destination menu, I call it destination hospitality. If you apply it to your workplace, we call it institutional hospitality. If you apply it in the hotel, we call it accommodation hospitality. If you apply it to your wife, we call it lovey, husband and wife hospitality. So hospitality is ubiquitous. You find it everywhere. No wonder the Bible encourages us to practice hospitality. I want to say God is the Father of hospitality. So, now, with the background I have given, I want to give us a case study that demonstrates the relationship between hospitality-centric philosophy and the socioeconomic development of destination. So in 2023, because of the burden I had, my team and I went out to do a research on this. Though I have conducted other researches like analysis of the destination image of Nigeria, where hospitality was the highest weighted factor, yes, but I wasn't satisfied with that. In 2023, my PhD students, yes, I work very hard with Dr. Unical. We did a study on accommodation attributes, and the highest contributory factor to accommodation services was hospitality. That was not enough for me. In 2024, I did another job, PhD job with my student, Dr. Vivian Are, on event design, and I also discovered that hospitality was the highest weighted factor in event design and customer satisfaction. But that did not address theoretically with evidence the relationship between hospitality-centric philosophy and socioeconomic development. So, on the basis of that, we now construe a hypothetical model that should tell us yes, a model. And the model says, because we know that hospitality has a behavioral component and a non-behavioral component. So the behavioral component, we call it destination hospitality attribute. And the non-behavioral component, we call it destination service delivery. And this was from series of theoretical basis we consulted. For example, the service dominant logic, SD, by Vargas and Lush, says that, look, services are just means of exchange, and that material things are machines and mechanisms for solving needs. So, well, all the services that we perform are means of delivering needs, of solving needs, and so they constitute the product we call hospitality. So So we now use that and say, okay, destination hospitality attributes and destination service delivery. Their effect. In the destination, we have said the principal element is the tourist. So when we architect destination hospitality attributes and destination service delivery on the tourist, something happened in the tourist. Just like I'm talking to you now. I'm offending some of you and I'm exciting some of you. That feeling is called experience. Hello? How are you feeling? Good or bad? Okay, in this study, we define destination attribute with the following items: welcoming, courteous, respectful, trustworthy, sociable, being open. Welcoming, respectful, honest, generous, open, courteous, trustworthy, reliable, and sociable. And from the various evaluation using statistics, I don't want to sound too technical because none of us are researchers and statisticians. These variables or items had good reliability and validity with the construct we call destination hospitality attributes. They were loaded very high, and so we say it represents, but anywhere in the world, somebody will call destination hospitality attributes. So this is what we did. And then in the studies, okay, this is the how do you say? Okay, measurement of destination service. How do we measure the services that a destination offers? Accommodation what? Service. Represented by the accommodation establishments, hotels, motels, resorts, guest houses, bed and breakfasts, and the likes. We have food and beverages. We have health services. We have educational services. We have information and technology services, and we have visitor attraction and town planning. These are services that visitors enjoy, encounter, receive during their travel to a destination. Hospitality attributes act on this to impact on the tourist. And like we said, for the tourist experience, we have how do I measure tourist experience? Happiness, satisfaction, love, and self-esteem. Like you are, that's what I was trying to say. Some of you are happy with my presentation or happy with the day. Some will say they are satisfied. Some will say I've treated them with love, because the atmosphere is not just an inaugural lecture atmosphere, it's a celebration of tourism, because I could see the carnival guests dancing and pretending some people out there. You see, some feel fulfilled. Oh, at last, I've been given an opportunity to listen to Prof. who talks so much and is able to give his life for tourism. So it's an experience. I don't know what will be your experience as you live today. So the things we do in a destination, by our attitude, which is hospitality behavior, and by the quality of service delivery, quality of educational services, quality of accommodation services, quality of food and beverage services, quality of health services, quality of security services, quality of ICT. I wonder whether we can see the same network as we are here. Quality services. I don't know whether we can see the same. All this work together to influence a visitor experience in a destination. And our studies show that destination hospitality attributes and destination service delivery are all positively related with destination visitor experience. The surprising result is the fact that the more you satisfy, the more you increase your hospitality attitude, the more the visitor gets excited or motivated to do the things we'll be looking at that happen in the destination. What am I saying? That the destination development attributes or indicators are just the outcome of the things you and I do. The more we satisfy, the more we create happiness and joy in visitors when they visit us, the more we show love to visitors when they come around, and the more we make them feel fulfilled. You know, the type of destination you visit determines your class. In those days, if you do not bring your wife to Cross River State for a holiday, it means you do not love your wife. And if you do that, it means you have increased the self-esteem. She will use that. My husband took me to Cross River, to Tinapa, to here. I don't know whether we can still say so. I don't know why we are. And I hope the Tourism Bureau is here, the Ministry of Tourism is here to note some of these things. But it just shows that the special authority attributes and the quality services we give to visitors impact on visitors' experience, which in turn generate the impact we expect to occur in the destination. To understand what the destination needs, I made reference to the philosophy of Gabriel Marcel, philosopher, in his Metaphysics of Hospitality. Marcel believes that the world we are is a broken world. Why is it broken? Because of the wickedness of men, the mismanagement of the environment, and the resources of the environment, leading to anguish. And so he asserts that the only way we can bring happiness to men and restore the quality of the world is to show love. So love is the solution to the world problem. Whether at international level, national level, local level, institutional level, it's love. Are you showing love? If you show love, you will not be doing the kind of things we do. Yes, if you show love, I know what I mean. And if you show love too much, they hate you. Even in this school, if you show love too much, look at him. Then you will not go heaven. Not only the Christian. May God help us in Jesus' name. The Master says, hell. He says, love is a solution to the broken world. The SDGs also help us to understand what we expect when we talk about development. And the SDGs, after the poor performance of the MDGs, brought about the SDGs, the 17 SDGs. And world leaders came together in 2015 to say that through tourism, we can achieve all the 17 SDGs. But there was something they didn't say. They didn't mention love. And so, if you combine the postulation by Gabriel Marcel and the sustainable tourism development, it's only saying love plus our services can bring about the attainment of the 17 SDGs, because it is only love. So in your service, whatever you are doing, add what? Love. Add what? Hospitality. And this problem the world is facing, MDGs failed because there was no love. We did it with wickedness and arrogance. And if we do not add love to the present SDGs that we are saying, the agenda 2030, quote me, if we do not change our attitude as human beings on this world, we will still fail in the attainment of the 2030 agenda. We will fail. So, however, for the purpose of this discussion, I decided that, okay, hospitality can facilitate the achievement of the SDGs. And surprisingly, do you know that this study also revealed that hospitality impacts positively on destination development? Very hard. So, I will tell you the result, specific result of the case study. Our case study or analysis took place in Calabar. Hello, Calabar. Let us see what Calabar scored on the destination hospitality attributes. Can you see welcome in there? This scale was over 10. The highest was 6.9, which is sociable. So it's very sociable every night, just around 6, 7. Enter Calabar. Just go around the streets. Calabar, they shake. So it was a very reflective result of our social life in Calabar. Our social life is coming up, and then we are welcoming. Give it to Calabar. We are very welcoming. So, the highest rated hospitality attributes were social and welcome. Then if you find the overall mean, we scored 6.9. 6.9. Okay, let's go to the next one. Service. And on that 10-point scale we use, do you know our highest score was on food and beverage? That's all now. Mama food, fast food. If you want better soup, go Calabar. Iboriman, day. It's true now. Our Calabar soup is Iboriman. If you eat a Calabar woman's afan soup or a day carry come, you forget about where you come from. And it was reflected there. The highest. The next one is accommodation. But we see we score very high too in education. And which means if we talk about education services in Calabar, Unical is number 1. So we have contributed significantly to the quality of education. And here, the overall mean for destination service delivery was 6.8. These two parameters, destination hospitality attributes and destination service delivery, was used to produce a destination typology. A typology is a type of metrics you can use to describe a place or a thing. Our representation of these two constructs of parameters gave us 9 typologies. 9. Oh God, it's not very bright. We have what we call deck destination. We have a sleeping destination. Can you see that? A sleeping destination. We have a living destination. We have a pristine destination. We have exotic destination. We have a glowing destination. We have a trailing destination. These were reflections of the ordinal measures on the 10-point scale. And it's okay. Between 1 and 3, we call it low hospitality and low service delivery. Between 3 and 7, we call it average for hospitality, hospitable attributes and service delivery. Between 7 to 10, we call it high. And so, when we put that of Calabar on the metrics, do you know what it gave us? Calabar fell on 6C22. My friends who are good in matrix, 6C22. C22 is what? You can see on the vertical axis is what? The second row. Isn't it? On the second cell. On the horizontal axis is what? The second cell. Are we together? And if you check that, That second set is between 3 and 7. And for Calabar, what was our result? We got 6.5. And that gives us the hospitality index of Calabar. So by interpretation, we will say Calabar has an index of hospitality at what? 6.5. Out of the 10 was? Out of the 10, 6.85. Out of a 10 point. Is that very good? What does it for? Average. So I leave that to our crossover tourism destination managers to tell us why Calabar should be. But if they don't, in this course, in this lecture, I will try to explain the reason. The reason is we have not performed very well in some of the indicators, the hospitality, the hospitable indicators, and in some of the service, the destination service delivery, we did not perform well, and that ended us in average. After all, the overall mean of destination hospitable attribute was 6.9, and that of destination service delivery was what? 6.8. So if you find the grand mean, it gives what? 6.85, which places us at average. Then we talk about the typology. That's cell 622. The typology there is pristine. But if you go up, where you have high scoring attributes and high scoring services, you can find glowing, trailing, exotic. The question is, when are we going to be called an exotic destination? When are we going to be called a glowing destination? When we are lagging here in a pristine destination. Well, it's good for some, but after 15 years to 20 years, to 20 years of tourism development, I expect that we should do better. So, about what emphasis? Calabar Hospitality Index is 6.85. Typology, type of destination is pristine. May God help us in this destination. Look at it there. So, out of that, I decided to now present the model that represents this discussion. The model says, well, can somebody help me there? The model says that destination hospitality and destination service delivery impact on visitors' experience, which at the same time impacts on the destination socio-economic development. So, the managerial implication of this is that destination managers can use this model to measure where their destination is. Are you a sleeping destination? Are you a dead destination? Are you a living destination? Are you a trailing behind others? It will give you a result. Then you can also measure the index. If it gives you a very low result, what do? You can develop strategies that will help you take your destination to where you want it to be. You can be the best. So that takes us to another question. What is the tourism product of Calabar? How does it look like? In 2021, I did a study with one of my PhD students, who is my citation reader, Dr. Fred, to study the destination product of Calabar using quadrant analysis. Well, we came out with something that was fantastic, but hospitality was omitted. And I want to say that must have or had accounted for the failure of most destinations. And so, in this one, we decided to add hospitality. And this is how it looks like. That's how it looks like. This is the design of a typical tourist product. Yes. In the middle is the visitor experience we look for. In the center, in the middle, we have the services that take place in destination. We have discussed them. And at the outer layer is the hospitable behavior. Now, where our block, our spirit and soul comes in as destination product is, the outer layer is behavioral. The outer layer behaves like a spirit because it is the spirit that moves the physical. And so, the spirit of a destination is simply the behavior of the people, the behavior, the residents, and the destination managers exude, constitute the spirit of a destination. If their hospitable attributes are high, we will say the destination has a high spirit. It has a high spirit. The soul refers to the services that are offered in the destination. And you know, these services are integration of the actors or the managers, and they are the ones that create satisfaction, that affect the visitor's experience. And so we call the service delivery the soul of a destination. So hospitality is the spirit of a destination. The services are the soul of a destination. So if you put this together, you can now produce a vibrant and profitable tourist destination. Thank you. So, in conclusion, I want to say that this lecture demonstrates the influence of destination hospitality on the socio-economic development of Calabar. We have seen that. The lecturer has proposed a destination management and marketing model called Destination Hospitality Piggyback Development Model. The lecturer identified Calabar as a pressing tourist destination and Destination Hospitality Index of Calabar as average. Recommendation: to enhance visitors' experience, destination managers should invest in hospitable behavior and standardized service delivery by employees and residents. Madam Vice Chancellor, there are institutions that are helping in the tourism sector to achieve this high quality service delivery. At the national level, the Technical Board for Technical Education is developing what we call the National Skill Qualification. And at the top of this is my institute, the Institute for Tourism Professionals. We are the awarding body that is driving this process to ensure that in the near future we will have employees that can deliver. The second one is the destination managers should undertake a campaign that light up their community with a touch of hospitality. Please, ma'am, we can use Unical as a pilot scheme of this to say light up Unical with a touch of hospitality. Madam, our services cannot be in their best because I observe that we don't have the standard operation procedures. I remember in each Senate, we always try to put things right. But when we go back, ma'am, some of us have very short memory. We forget what we discussed or what we are told in Senate. But we can put our documents in writing. How do you answer examination questions? How do you administer exams? How do you mark? How do you do this? And now we call that standard operation procedures. And this will help to increase the service quality we give to our visitors, our students who are also visitors to Calabar. I'm recommending that hospitality studies should be introduced as a basic course in the senior secondary school. At the moment, we only have a course called tourism studies in the secondary school, which is not sufficient. Tourism study does not capture the elements of hospitality as I've discussed today. So there is need for us to recommend that there should be a course called hospitality study, just hospitality studies at the secondary school level. Now, it's not only that, also in the university as part of our general study courses. Because we would like, it's only hospitality that teaches people how to love. Others don't, they teach us a lot of things. But hospitality will teach us how to love and make us human. So I'm recommending that a course called hospitality studies should be introduced as a general course in the university for all set of students. I'm also recommending that the present curriculum in the department as prescribed by CCMAS does not give us what we are looking for as hospitality industry practitioners. The CCMAS has combined two big courses in one, which is very, too heavy among us for us to carry. Hospitality, tourism. Hospitality is an attitude, it's a behavior, it's an orientation. So it should be studied differently, and then tourism should be studied differently. And so we are recommending that there should be a program called hospitality management, different from tourism management. However, what will be the content of hospitality management? Because hospitality management is pervasive, we will have courses like authority of ethics, accommodation hospitality, security hospitality, protocol, political hospitality, business hospitality, so that in every aspect of your life, you'll be conscious that you should exude hospitality. I'm recommending that this model that Esu and his team have proposed in the past few years should be propagated extensively to be adopted by destination managers to enable them and manage their destinations properly. My journey, I started as a very humble bedside nurse. By the grace of God, my lecturer is here, the current HOD of nursing department, Professor Regina, was my teacher in School of Nursing at the Central School of Nursing in Ogoja. Ma, are you here? Okay. Professor Mary Beckham was just 6 months older than me, then we were friends. Mary Beckham, are you here? Professor Mary Beckham. Okay, yes. I started there, and it was very rewarding, and I worked with Professor Ekabret when she was the technical advisor of the National Coast Program and the Guinea worm. We worked tirelessly to reduce the endemicity of Guinea worm in Cross River State. I was both a mobilization officer, I was training officer, I was research officer, I was finance officer, and by the grace of God, we were able to bring onchocerciasis to a minimal level of endemicity. So along the line, life gave me a different turn where there was the need to do tourism. And how did I get into tourism? I was in my power one of these days when I saw Donald Duke talking about tourism in the year 2000. And I asked, where is this man talking? There's no Nigerian university that offers tourism. Where is he going to get the manpower to train the experts to do tourism? And from that day, I was infected with the spirit of tourism. And I went headlong to achieve my goal of being a hospitality teacher and tourism teacher, hospitality and tourism entrepreneur and motivator. And since then, my life has changed. As soon as I finished my PhD in tourism Department of Marketing then, Professor Brett engaged me to produce, just as it was read by my citation reader, the first curriculum for the Department of Hospitality and Tourism Management, and I was the first lecturer that was engaged on part-time. I started that department. I graduated the first set of students. Most of them are doing their PhD, have completed their PhD in the present tourism department. I took the first set of teachers and the only set of teachers that were trained in tourism secondary schools up to now. No other one has been done. I've assisted the national level, the skill acquisition, what we call National Skill Qualification Program in the hospitality sector. We have what we call the Hospitality Tourism Sector Council that produces the skills that generate the skills that every tourism and hospitality practitioner must acquire. Now, this document is lying now in the office of the National Board for Technical Education in Kaduna. It's there. Which means if you want to be a tourism practitioner, you do not only acquire a PhD, you do not only acquire an MSc or a diploma, you must be skill satisfied. And the Central Council has produced that. ITPN is in the process of inviting institutions to present their students for assessment. So prepare for that. Those in polytechnics have gone ahead already. If you are not skill satisfied, you cannot be a polytechnic lecturer, whether at OND level or at HOD level. So I don't know at what point university lecturers will begin to be evaluated on skills before they are allowed to teach. We teach without skills. We teach theory. But one day, I know this NSQ is going to get to us. So begin to get up every university lecturer. Those of us in tourism, I have already prepared some models for NSQ in ITPM for level 5 and level 6. Now, to cut it short, I have tried my best in research, and my researches in tourism hospitality have been used extensively. One, the Conversation Carnival Commission will bear me witness that I produced the first report that shows the importance of the carnival. It was that report that Donald Duke and the rest have used to pump in money and have hope that one day carnival will change the face of Calabar. Are we there? But certainly we will get there because we are moving forward. We are moving forward. Man, I published extensively, and by the grace of God, as I said, my papers are quoted far and wide. I have also assessed professional candidates in tourism. Yesterday, I was very happy when my student, my candidate was announced Professor of Policy and Strategic Management, Professor Bello Yakini. Yes, Professor Bello Yakini. And so, whatever has a beginning must have an end. I want to appreciate those who have contributed to producing this gentleman that you are listening to. First, the glory goes to God, whom in his immeasurable and infinite love has made me who I am today. To my late parents, Aksodo and Akado Benjamin Esu of Ediba, Aboyo, they gave me the right training. I've never regretted being their own. My parents never regretted having me. They never corrected me beyond what they did. They only taught me, but I never gave them a course to correct me because I have a listening ear and a living heart, a philosophic heart, a hospitable heart. In administration, university administration, I've been a coordinator of the SY BSc program in marketing. I've been HOD. I've been departmental coordinator, PG coordinator. I've been HOD and part-time business, and also HOD at the Institute for Tourism, Institute for Technology and Management, who get the tourism and leisure program. Yes, I have also done some activities for other people. I want to also salute the Vice Chancellor for her love for tourism. She is a fellow of the Institute for Tourism Professionals of Nigeria. She was a pioneer of tourism in this school at the Department of Environmental Studies. She anchored the program some years ago. The report, the history is there in the archives. She loves tourism, and she's still doing that. The way she's helping us in the Department of Tourism. I want to also thank the management. Okay, man, there's something I want to say. I've always told my wife that I'm in love with you in the name of the Lord. Because of certain attributes that you possess, you have offered me the opportunity to do most of the things I wanted to do, especially my transfer to the Department of Hospitality and Tourism Management. Nobody would have done it for me except you. Why would I love you? Yes. I want to thank the management staff, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, admin. She's always there for us. Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Linkages, the Registrar, she's my sister, the librarian, she's a very deep friend. She surprised me. I was speaking in tongues some few minutes ago. What she did to me, I've not recovered till now. It's a little like a dream. You ask me what she did to me, I will tell you out there. Mama, thank you. You are a child of God. I want to appreciate my ministers, Barrister, Reverend Barrister Chris Ekpan. He's my boss, my senior pastor, my bishop designate at the Church of Christ, Christ of the World Mission International. I work with him as a volunteer pastor. I'm a pastor. Yes. I want to appreciate the wife for the encouragement and my other pastors who are here. I started my Christian journey in the Assemblies of God some 30-something years ago. I became born again in the year 1992. So it's been a long time. And my pioneer pastor is here, Reverend Professor Etim Okon of Philosophy. I'm sure he's here. So thank you for helping to grow a sinner like me to become a child of God. I just grew into his church, Assemblies of God, Obofai some years ago, where he brushed me and made me a man of God that people can decide to trust if actually you believe in what God can do, the regenerative spirit. I want to thank every child of God who is here. God bless you. I want to thank my wife, my better wife, my better half. This woman don't suffer. I married her as a clerk, and I was only a certificate nurse and a student. We manage ourselves with Ikpong Kozana. I'm going to do Ikpong. Ikpong Kozana. There's a raining Ikpong like that. If you don't know it, meet me. And another one they call Orang Omin. It's Pocoyam delicacy. We managed that until today. She's a doctor of philosophy in adult education. Now, man, you manage me, I manage you. Now God bring us together. This law, you know, will end till death do us part. My children, oh, they are wonderful. Eva says so. This one, she's my chief of staff. She knows when I go to bed and when I wake up and what I do in each day. God bless you for always being there. When Eva says so, I made a mistake and encouraged Rooney to read marketing. And since Rooney is reading marketing, Rooney has become an international marketer. I have to call by phone to see him. His number of clients keeps him very, very busy. Thank you. God bless you. I'm happy that I've duplicated myself before moving to higher call as a tourism expert. So, God bless you for the support you've given to me. My in-law, Dr. Barrister Fidelis Akman and Dr. Joyce Akman, thank you for always being there. My mother-in-law is not here. She's 92 years. I'm sure she's here in the spirit with us. She's a very loving mother. when we were on strike, Nkpong never lacked in my house. Plantain, Nfi, they never lacked because at Oban, those things are naturally given. I still borrow money from her when I lost money in 92 years. She's so industrious. May God keep her longer so that I continue to benefit because I'm still a baby to my mother-in-law. Yes, so I want to totally appreciate a few people who have imparted so much in my life, and that's Professor Cabret. One, she found me as a young man and used me, trained me in her jurisdiction, where she was as technical advisor, where she was as South coordinator of Unical. I learned how to clean Guinea worm wounds and learned how to do a lot of things there. She's a no-nonsense woman. She's out of perfection. If you make her invest, it will keep you very far. For surviving in the hands of that woman, I thank God. Because you can't work with her if you have any element of dishonesty. And up till now, I still go to her for blessing. Another set of people I will never forget are late Professor J. Etuk. He was my undergraduate project supervisor, MBA supervisor. And at the PhD level, I was co-supervised by late Professor Etuk and Professor Anya of the Department of Geography. That's why the geography people say, hey, you are my own, we produce you. Yes, and somehow they are right. Because I was supervised by a professor of eco-tourism and conservation. Yes. So, Prof. Anya, if I hear, thank you very much. I want to thank God for my colleagues in the Department of Marketing. I behave abnormally. While I was a marketer in the physical, in the spirit, I was a tourism person. I did very little in marketing with them. Every day is tourism. I went parallel, haywire, doing my thing in tourism. Please, marketing, thank you for releasing me to my love. I thank you for tolerating me, but I'm still with you. Anytime you need me, I'll be there to do the things you want me to do. I enjoyed the romance, everything we had together in the 22 years and 25 years as a lecturer in University of Calabar this year. So thank you. I want to thank the Department of Tourism for accepting me. Thank you for the warm reception. I promise you, I will be a father. You can see my gray hair. I'll be your father. I will help you. I'll be a link between you to wherever you want to be. Just lean on me. I've been in the industry for near more than 25 years, and I've got experience. I will try to bring that experience to bear in the development of this nascent department. I count on your cooperation. I want to thank the entire faculty of management sciences for putting this together, especially the planning committee of this inaugural lecture, led by also Professor Ben Odigbo. Thank you, Dr. Odigbo, and your team. It's not easy. Yes. Thank you. I've just been reminded, oh, my siblings, I was not born alone. I was born to a family of 12. And now we are left with less than that 12. We are left with 7 because 5 are gone. Let me acknowledge the presence of my siblings. I have here in the house my immediate senior sister, Mrs. Cecilia Nwobi, Port Harcourt. Cecilia, are you here? That's my senior sister. And then just far behind, because one who is next to me is going to be with the Lord, far behind. I have Mr. Godwin Benjamin Favor, Port Harcourt, and the state surveyor. Body. You see here? Yes. I have Mary Horeta, Edwin Afuka, what I call the businesswoman. I have Franca Bassewa, Red Marketing from the Department of Marketing. She's a businesswoman. And I have Gladys Benjamin Akpa. She's a teacher. Yes. I'm happy to have you for having me as your brother. Yes, accept me because I know being an academic you are missed. I think differently at times, and you think I'm mad. I'm not mad, just an academic spirit, they worry us. Where you want me, you can't find me. So let me also appreciate the Ediba Union present here, the Abbey family and Abbey academics for your support. I am very grateful to my industry partners. Hey, please, permit me to welcome specially the registrar of the Institute for Tourism Professionals of Nigeria in the person of Dr. Tao. He came all the way from Abuja. The chairman, Cross River State Hoteliers Association, is here in the house. Ntufam Charles Oga, the director, CEO of Pyramid Hotels. He didn't come alone. He has here Chief Egina Ita, the proprietor, Chief Executive of Green Valley and the event center called Municipal Garden. Ma, please, sir, you're welcome. I love you. And every other industry member, we have invited the Council Tourism Bureau. I know the information is the PS, Permanent Secretary information here. Okay, maybe represented. I want to especially thank my colleagues at the PhD level, Dr. Professor Ibok, Professor Ibok, I saw you somewhere here. He's the head of campus at Calabar State University. And the rest. Thank you very much, Madam Vice Chancellor, for this privilege you've given me to be the inaugural lecturer to mark the end of the series of activities marking the 50th anniversary of the University of Calabar. I salute you. Before I leave, please, the Director of Human Resource and Development, thank you. The Information Unit, thank you. The Unical Radio, thank you. And everybody who has come out here because of this inaugural lecture, I love you. The good Lord will flourish you and make you philistenic and make you hospitable. The blessings of those who love God will follow you all the days of your life. God bless you.
When you're rendering services in University of Calabar, add love and hospitality. May we be seated. Our time is fast spent, so without waste of time, that is what I learned. When you're rendering services in University of Calabar, add love and hospitality. So ladies and gentlemen, without waste of time, permit me to invite the Vice Chancellor and Chairman of this occasion, Professor Lawrence Bankobi, to step forward for presentation of the lecture notes and inaugural lecturer and appreciation from him.
The Vice Chancellor and Chairman of this inaugural lecture. Madam, it's my pleasure this minute to present to you a copy of my inaugural lecture note to you. In the name of God the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Congratulations once more, Professor Su, for the wonderful lecture. And on behalf of the university, it is my own pleasure to present this memento to you as the 136th inaugural lecturer of the University of Calabar. Congratulations.
Let me quickly invite the Chairman Committee of Deans, Professor Kaitena, to give a vote of thanks.
The Vice Chancellor, who is also the chairman of this August meeting, please let me stand on the existing protocol to deliver this vote of thanks. First of all, I want to thank the Almighty God for the love He has showered on our 136th inaugural lecturer. God has been good to us, and that is why we are gathered here. I thank the 136th inaugural lecturer, Professor Bassey B for that hospitable inaugural lecture that has been delivered. And I want to believe that he has shown us, all of us here, so much love in the course of delivering this lecture, and has also credited our hospitality accounts. So you check your accounts at the end of this meeting, you'll find out that something has been added there. Thank you so much, Professor. I thank our hospitable Vice Chancellor, the Golden Vice Chancellor, for the love he has been showing. She has shown us to be giving us this opportunity to manifest as professors twice every month. Ma, we appreciate you. Thank every member of the university management team. You can see they are all complete here. Thank you for coming. Members of the university senate, we appreciate all of you that have found time to come to be with our professor today. We thank the inaugural lecturer friend for helping us to understand where this distinguished professor is coming from. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. We thank the family of the inaugural lecturer for the love and the hospitable environment that they provided for him at home to be able to manifest as we have seen today. We thank all the clergymen in the house for coming around. We pray that God will bless you. We thank especially the staff and students of the Department of Hospitality and Tourism Studies. Thank you for providing a very conducive work environment for this professor. We thank members and the staff of the information units of the university and the staff of the development division for always working behind the scene so that we can gather like this. I think I will not be able to mention everybody because of our time, but you can turn around and tell the person sitting beside you, thank you so much for coming. Can we do that? Thank you, and we pray that as you go back home, God will grant you journey mercies in Jesus' name.
Permit me once again to call on the Vice Chancellor and Chairman of this occasion to give our closing remarks.
Once again, let me thank Professor Bassey for the wonderful lecture. on hospitality. And I'm sure we are going home richer to know that hospitality is all about leisure, it's about excitement, it's about accommodation, and more importantly, it's about love. So let's go show love to one another and see how we can package University of Calabar as a tourist product. I will begin to attract more people come to our university. And then, Prof, please try to light up Unical with the spirit of hospitality. Today we have given you approval. Senate is there, they have all approved. That we are ready to light up Unical with the spirit of hospitality. But having said that, I once more want to remind our colleagues that inaugural lecture is a debt that every professor must pay. And last week, the last inaugural lecture, when we left here, one of our very senior professors said something to me. Florence, I'm beginning to notice that the younger professors are the ones presenting inaugural lecture. What is happening to the very senior professors? And actually directed me I should go and come up with a template and insist that people should all come out. The older ones should give inaugural lecture. Don't wait and retire while you are going to university. Inaugural lecture. Give your inaugural lecture. Young people are queuing up. If I see the line up now, I'm seeing people that were announced 3 years ago queuing up for inaugural lecture. Please, senior colleagues, make yourself proud. Make your department, family, and the university in general proud by giving your inaugural lecture. I said 2 weeks ago, we're actually willing to increase it to 3. The tempo is high and they are willing people. It's just 2 hours. We can, even if it is 4, every Wednesday we just come here for 2 hours. After all, this is an academic environment where we need to interact with ourselves and brainstorm on intellectual issues. So there's nothing wrong if we just spend every week 2 hours and brainstorm on certain issues. Please do come up. If we know the lineup is such that the senior people or the younger ones have all picked up to November, we are ready to increase the tempo and give you an opportunity. Just come out and do that. So that 50 years, we are still talking of 136 inaugural lecture. There are some universities that are less than 30 years. They are talking about 200 and something inaugural lecture. Please, let's make sure we step up the tempo of our inaugural lecture. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Prof, for the wonderful lecture. And may God bless each and every one of us. Thank you.